the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2, in conjunction with Colfax High School, presents Viking Pregame. A look at today's Colfax Vikings boys game. And now, Viking Pregame.
Good evening, and welcome to the NLWN2 studios. Rick Olson here, and tonight, the 5-7 Colfax Vikings, who are 3-2 in the Dunn-St Croix Conference, are continuing conference play as they take on the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers, who come into this week with an overall record of 8 wins and 4 losses, and who are leading the Dunn-St Croix Conference with a 4-1 record. The Vikings want to build on their thrilling 68-62 overtime victory over the Glenwood City Hilltoppers last week Thursday, while the Panthers pulled off a 43-41 win over conference co-leader Spring Valley also on Thursday. Coming up in this edition of Viking Pregame, we'll take a look at tonight's matchup between the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers and the Colfax Vikings. Then we'll get Coach Height's perspective on today's game in Coach's Corner. Following that, we'll take a quick look around the Dunn-St Croix Conference to see where the conference stands. Finally, our broadcast crew will bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's conference game between the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers and the Colfax Vikings. So it's time to get ready for some exciting high school boys basketball. All that coming up right after this brief timeout as you're tuned to Viking Pregame on NLWN2.
My dad was a farmer. The guy was bigger than life. He wasn't someone that liked to show his emotion or liked to show when he was struggling, but we all struggle. I want to show emotion to my kids. It's something that brings me so much joy, and I want them to see me working through things. Allow your kids to know that it's okay to struggle, that even dad doesn't know the answer sometimes, but we're going to figure it out together.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame as we're getting ready to bring you all the action of tonight's Dunn-St Croix Conference matchup between 3-2 Colfax Vikings and the 4-1 Durand-Arkansaw Panthers. The Vikings are coming into this game following a thrilling overtime victory over the Glenwood City Hilltoppers 68-62. Now that was last week on Thursday, while the Panthers narrowly defeated the Spring Valley Cardinals 43-41 also on Thursday. Both the Vikings and the Panthers had games that were postponed on Tuesday of this week due to the extreme cold, and those games will need to be made up. In the victory over the Hilltoppers, the Vikings found themselves in a seesaw game where the Vikings would open up a lead by as much as 10 points, only to see the Hilltoppers come storming back and tying the game at the end of regulation time on a buzzer beater. The Vikings pretty much controlled the overtime period to gain the 6-point win. Now, leading the way for the Vikings in that effort was 6-foot senior Aiden Fisher, who hit on 10 field goals, 2 of which were three-pointers, as well as going 5 for 7 from the free throw line for 27 points.
And 3 for Aiden Fisher.
6'5" freshman Russell Pekowski, in addition to his 6 blocked shots, added another 17 points on 5 field goals, including 3 three-pointers, as well as nailing 4 of 5 from the charity stripe.
Into Fisher. Fisher left open, goes in, misses the shot, but Pekowski tips it in. 63-60, Colfax.
5'11" junior Orion Nichols added another 12 points with 4 field goals, going 4 for 6 from the line.
Hubdy's going to bring it up the floor. He hands it off to Nichols. Nichols goes up off the glass. Good. 5-2 Colfax.
The Durand-Arkansaw Panthers come into tonight's game as the Dunn-St Croix Conference co-leader with a record of 4 wins and 1 loss. They earned that top spot when they edged out the Spring Valley Cardinals 43-41 last week. Now, so far on the season, the Panthers are being led by 5'10" senior guard Parker Almstead, who's shooting 41% from the floor and 46% from three-point range, while averaging 18 points per game. He's being followed by 6-foot sophomore Luke Weber, who's contributing nearly 15 points per game by shooting 45% from the floor as well as 68% from the free throw line. On the boards, 6'8" senior Dane Bates is the top rebounder, pulling down over 8 rebounds per game. Now, thus far this season, leading the way for the Vikings is Aiden Fisher, who's averaging nearly 24 points per game. He's followed by Russell Pakowski, who's scoring over 13 points per game, as well as Orion Nichols, who's adding another 12-plus points per game. Now, on the boards, Pakowski is leading the way, averaging over 10 rebounds per game. He's followed by Fisher and Nichols, who are averaging over 6 and over 5 boards per game, respectively. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get the coach's perspective as we chat with Viking head coach Nick Height on Coach's Corner. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on NLWN2.
My name's Stacy, I'm 57, and I was adopted in 2020. One teen can come in and make you look at life in a whole different way.
You know, he's my father, so I look up to him a lot. If I can be 10% of the man he is, I'll be a happy person for sure.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org.
Time now to see what the coaches have to say. It's Coach's Corner, where they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. And now, Coach's Corner.
Today on Coach's Corner, we're talking with Viking boys head coach Nick Height. And Coach, tonight the Vikings will be continuing their Dunn-St. Croix Conference play as they take on the conference-leading Durand-Arkansaw Panthers. But before we get to that game, last week on Thursday, the Vikings capped off an exciting game with the Glenwood City Hilltoppers with a 68-62 overtime win. Your thoughts about that game?
It was a hard-fought game, I thought we came out in the first half and, did a lot of really great things. Holding a team to 21 points in a half is going to be successful a lot of the times. I think they made really good adjustments kind of in the second half offensively to kind of bring it into overtime, obviously making a shot right at the buzzer. But credit our guys. I think Glenwood had a lot of momentum going into overtime, and we kind of pushed through that. Obviously some big offensive rebounds and free throws down the stretch to kind of finish off that game.
Now, of course, you and almost every other school in the conference had to deal with a couple days of bitterly cold weather where school was called off. And is that going to cause any rust on the Viking veneer?
Yeah, it was interesting. I gave the boys Friday off. And then obviously we had in-service Monday, but with it cold, we weren't able to practice. And then Tuesday without school, we didn't practice. So it was almost a week since we had gone. We had a little shoot around on Sunday, but I was excited the last 2 days to see the boys' energy. I was curious on how that was going to be. I thought we've had a great couple of days of practice to prepare us for tonight. The energy was high. So, kind of a unorthodox break. When you kind of think of the basketball season, normally you think, you get Thanksgiving break and Christmas break. It was kind of an interesting kind of week break that we had there. But hopefully, the boys will be well rested, and I think we got a good game plan coming in for tonight.
Now, backing our thoughts up to last week, Thursday, that game demonstrated the old adage that basketball is a game of runs, as several times the Vikings opened up as much as a 10-point lead, only to have the Hilltoppers come storming back. What can the Vikings do once they have such a lead to hang on to it?
Well, I think just knowing the scouting report, there were a few times, it seemed like we'd push it to 7 or 10, and then they'd come down and we didn't get a stop, or they got an offensive rebound. So, again, if we're setting our defense and can continue to rebound the basketball, not giving them second chance opportunities. I think they had 15 or 16 points on second chance opportunities. So, limiting them to second chance points. But I think for us as well, being patient within our offense, right? If we take bad shots, our defense is in the set. We're not, back where we need to be. So I think making them and forcing them to play defense for longer periods of time can benefit us when we do have leads.
Now, one of the things that we've noticed in the past few years is that the difference between decent teams and really good teams is that the really good teams have a big man who can stretch the floor by being able to hit three-point shots from the outside, because that opens up the floor underneath the basket for other players to find lanes and score. You seem to have one in Russell Pekowski, and can you talk a little bit about how important that advantage is to have a guy like that?
It is. It's a matchup nightmare, really. I mean, do you put a big on him? You know, he can kind of stretch the floor a little bit, like you said. If you put a small guy on him, you know, I like our opportunities we get in the post. So it is extremely hard to guard. But Russell, you know, credit Russell, he's put in a lot of time. I know on Sunday during our shoot around and stuff, he was the last person there. Probably sat there for a half hour after everyone left and got probably, you know, 200 to 300 shots up on the shooting gun. So he's put in a lot of time to be able to stretch the floor. I think he's grown a lot. I think tonight is going to be a very important game for him. I think over the course of, you know, our games, I think there's been a few times where he's gotten 2 fouls pretty early in the first half, and it affects us. You know, I think our offense has been really solid when he's on the floor to be able to stretch the floor, and not only that, but rebounding as well. You know, he's the leading rebounder in the league for a reason, for his ability at 6'5" to get above the rim. I wish he'd box out a little bit more, but credit him.
Hey, he's a freshman. He's going to learn that by the time he's a senior.
I hope so.
Now, tonight the Vikings will be taking on the conference co-leader Durand-Arkansaw Panthers. What can you tell us about the Panthers?
Well, the Bates kid at 6'8" is going to be lengthy and tough. Does a lot of great things around the rim. Leads the league in block shots. They're going to be quick, they're going to be physical, and they're going to be in-your-face pressure. We have to be ready for their 2-2-1. We have to be ready for their run and jump. We have to be ready for their 2-3 zone. So JR, I know him a little bit from Winona State. He was on the national championship team. That's Durand's head coach. He does a lot of great things offensively. The Olmsted kid's going to be really tough, but I think we do match up with them really solidly on the defensive side. So I'm hoping that through our scout and stuff within the last couple of days, we've gone over a lot of Durand stuff. So hopefully we'll have our kids ready to go. And, you know, you never know. I think we can compete with anybody in the league. So I think it's going to be a fun environment, a Friday night in kind of a smaller gym per se. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, and when they get that band going, it's a loud place to play, and they put on a lot of pomp and circumstance before their games. But that's all part of the energy, and it should make it a fun night. A win tonight would allow the Vikings to close that gap on the Dunn-St. Croix Conference race. Talk a little bit about the importance of this game.
Yeah, you know, I've preached to our kids, you know, especially after Thursday, we control our own destiny. You know, we can have obviously the ball's in our court. If we can take care of business through that second round, I mean, we're right there. So it is a very important game. I'm excited. This is a very important stretch we have coming up within the next 2 weeks. A lot of really solid opponents that we're going to face. And it'd be a great way to start with a win tonight.
Well, Coach Height, good luck on tonight's game. Hopefully, the Vikings can squeeze those front runners in the conference just a little bit.
Absolutely. Should be fun.
You've been listening to Coach's Corner, with a look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Be right there. Wait. Use the shovel and bucket of water, remember? Drown, stir, drown, feel. Then make sure it's cool.
Where'd you learn that?
SmokeyBear.com. Brushed up on some tips before we left. Don't want to start a wildfire, right?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame. The Dunn-St. Croix Conference continues conference play tonight with a full slate of games following Tuesday when the entire slate of conference games was postponed due to the cold weather. Now, heading into tonight's action, the Dunn-St. Croix Conference standings are as follows. Leading the way in the conference is a tie between the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers and the Spring Valley Cardinals, with both teams posting 4-1 records. In third place, and only a half a game back, are the 3-1 Elk Mound Mounders, while fourth place sees the Vikings, only one game off the pace at 3-2. Then in fifth place, we find the 2-2 Boyceville Bulldogs, who are 1.5 games out. The Glenwood City Hilltoppers slid down to sixth place at 2-3 and 2 games off the pace. Seventh place belongs to the Elmwood Plum City Wolves, who are sitting at 1-4, while the eighth place belongs to the 0-5 Mondovi Buffaloes. Now, tonight's conference play includes the Vikings traveling to Durand to take on the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers. The Boyceville Bulldogs will visit the Spring Valley Cardinals, while the Mondovi Buffaloes will play host to the Elk Mound Mounders. In addition, it will be the Glenwood City Hilltoppers welcoming the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. Tonight's matchup between the Vikings and the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers offers the Vikings an opportunity to close ranks with the leaders in the Dunn-St. Croix Conference. Now, last season, the Panthers swept the Vikings in their two meetings, 55-32 and 55-45. The Vikings would love to turn the tables on the Panthers tonight. The Panthers would like to solidify their hold on first place in the Dunn-St. Croix. So, the stage is set for some exciting high school boys basketball with the Colfax Vikings facing the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers. Now, in just a moment, we'll send it out to Durand High School, where our broadcast crew is ready to bring you all the action of today's boys game. That's all coming up next. You've been tuned to Viking Pregame on NLWN2.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
You've been tuned to Viking Pregame with a look at today's Colfax Viking Boys game. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2. Stay tuned. Coming up next is live Colfax Viking basketball. It happens to everyone eventually. Your computer goes on the fritz. Fear not, Sladen's Technology Services can help. When your computer decides to not cooperate, it can be very frustrating. Let Sladen's Technology Services keep you from wanting to drive your computer right off a cliff. Sladen's Technology Services supports business of all sizes. They offer assistance with managed anti-malware, encrypted email, fast tech support, data backup, and recovery, and more. Call Sladen's Technology Services at 715-864-2833 and get the IT help you desire. Sladen's Technology Services is the official IT service for the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Colfax Viking Boys Basketball is on the air.
Takes the snap of the key, puts up the shot, he hit it! Fisher hits
The Northern Light Webcasting Network, along with NLWN2, is excited to bring you Colfax High School Boys Basketball.
Around, feeds it underneath the Orion Nichols, and he put it up and in.
Yeah, great
Vikings back on top.
Join us as we follow the Vikings while they battle their way through the Dunn-St. Croix Conference.
And they get it to Charbonneau, back to Larson. Three-pointer, he hit it! Trey Larson hit the three.
And now out to the gym for today's Colfax Viking basketball.
Good evening. Welcome to Durand High School, where the Colfax Viking Boys will be taking on the Panthers in a Dunn-St. Croix Conference game. Gym's filling up pretty good here on both sides. I'm Jay Fall. Chris Olson is operating our camera, and Dan Pecha is here with stats, color commentary, and making sure things go out in the right order and correctly and all that good stuff. Let's go courtside.
Basketball fans, and welcome to Durand-Arkansaw High School for a Dunn-St Boys Basketball matchup. Tonight's game features the Colfax Vikings and the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers. Admission to this collective goes as a privilege, and with that privilege comes responsibility. Responsibility to conduct oneself in a respectful manner where the game is enjoyable for all fans, coaches, players, and officials. The Dunn-St Croix Conference reminds you to be a positive leader on the court and in the stands. Ladies and gentlemen, the privilege of this game is made possible by those who have fought and continue to fight for the freedom to be enjoyed. Let us now honor and respect their efforts and our country. We ask that you stand if able. Remove your hats as the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers pep band proudly performs our national anthem. Now, here's tonight's starting 10. First for the Vikings and Coach Party, a 5'6" senior, number 2, Theo Hardy. A 6' senior, number 4, Aiden Fisher. A 5'11" junior, number 10, Ryan Nichols. A 5'10" junior, number 12, Charlie Sharma. A 6'5" freshman, number 3, Russell Bukowski. The Vikings are assisted by Tristan Gilson and Eli Roll. Now, here is Coach
So we are ready to go. Starting lineups have been introduced. At the center jump circle are Russ Polkowski for the Vikings, 6'5" freshman guard forward. And for the Durand Panthers, Dane Bates, their 6'8" senior center. Ball goes up, and Colfax ends up with it. It's going to be Aiden Fisher to Hovde, and he'll bring it across the timeline over to Polkowski. Down inside Fisher, and he tries to get it out to Nichols. Ball goes out of bounds, and the Panthers will pick it up. Just underway, no score. Parker Olmsted for the Panthers to Luke Weber. Up to Max Anderson, and they get it inside to Bates, and his shot doesn't go. It's rebounded by the Vikings. Hovde up the floor, moving right, fires it over to Nichols. Bounce pass on the floor to Charbonneau. He's caught up by the big man on the baseline. Ball stolen away by Max Anderson. Up the floor it goes to Luke Weber, and on the right side it goes to Parker Olmsted. No, check that. That is Connor Wittig that scored that one. Down in the corner, ball goes to Charbonneau. Durand playing a 2-3 zone. Ball goes out of bounds. Colfax is going to keep it.
Yeah, that's one thing that Colfax doesn't see very often is a zone, so they're going to have to figure this out early.
Hovde around the top goes to Polkowski. Back to Hovde to Fisher. Fisher for three, but jamming it home is Russell Polkowski. Nice feed. And we're tied at 2. Weber to Bates. Back outside to Olmsted, and Olmsted puts it up, missed, but it's rebounded by Anderson. Anderson tries to go back up, but it's going to be a jump ball, and it's going to go to the Panthers. Hovde ended up hard on the floor on that one.
That was the perfect alley-oop for Polkowski.
Yeah. Weber on the baseline to throw it in for the Panthers. Out on top it goes to Anderson. Back down to Weber. Weber pulls up inside the arch, no good, and coming up with a rebound, Fisher for Colfax. 2-all, approaching 16 minutes left in the half. Nichols, Charbonneau into Fisher, trying to get it back out to Nichols, and we'll have over and back violation. Inbounds throw goes into Parker Olmsted. To Wittig. Back to Olmsted, Weber, and then inside to Anderson. Ball knocked away. Steal by Colfax. Tied at 2. Colfax and Durand-Arkansaw from Durand. Jay Fald and Petchak, Chris Olson with you. Charbonneau drives inside that zone, ends up finding Bates and takes it outside to Nichols. Three-pointer rolls off, and it's rebounded by Dane Bates. Quickly up the floor it goes to Connor Wittig, and he puts it in on the right side. Durand-Arkansaw 4, Colfax 2, full court pressure now. Hovde finds Nichols, and Hovde gets it back. We're going to have a double dribble called.
Yeah, Durand looking to get out and transition right away. Colfax make sure they get back on defense.
Olmsted over on the far side. Passes back to Anderson down inside to an open Parker Olmsted, and he puts in a layup on the left side. Durand-Arkansaw up 6-2. Inside 15 minutes left first half. Ryan Nichols, Charlie Charbonneau. Out in the corner to Russell Polkowski. That one, three-pointer doesn't go. Rebounded by Connor Wittig for the Panthers. Down on the near side, Weber. Weber trying to drive in on Nichols. Up to Dane Bates, back out to Parker Olmsted. Three-pointer rolls off, no good. Rebounded Max Anderson. And ball is stolen away by Aiden Fisher. Hovde up high in the left wing. Bounce it into Charbonneau. Down in the corner, Fisher. Three-pointer bounces out. Polkowski trying to get the rebound, and it ends up with Dane Bates instead for the Panthers. Olmsted. Halfway down to Luke Weber. Weber stops at the free throw line. Then it's into Bates. Bates over the top of everybody and bounces it in, and it's 8-2 Panthers.
Yeah, good patience by Durand to find their way inside.
Driving in Nichols. Nichols to Charbonneau. Finds Bates there and has to toss it back to Nichols. Now Nichols loses the ball to Weber. Weber's driving in. Nichols right with him, and Nichols puts in a layup, or Weber puts in the layup on the left side, and it's Durand-Arkansaw 10. Colfax 2, 13-29 left first half. You're watching Viking Boys Basketball on NLWN 2.
January is Financial Wellness Month. Weight loss and physical fitness are common New Year's resolutions, but your finances could probably stand to be leaner as well. Dairy State Bank will post tips all month on Facebook and Twitter to help you get your finances in shape. You can also access a library of information anytime in our online education center. Visit DairyStateBank.com and click on the Education Center under the Resources tab. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
Welcome back. Clean game so far, no fouls for either team. Colfax getting the ball after that score and subsequent timeout. Orion Nichols back to Hovde. Hovde getting it across the timeline. One-headed pass to Polkowski. Back to Hovde. Opposite side to Nichols. Back to Hovde.
Durand still in 2-3 zone.
Charbonneau trying to get it inside. He gets it back, or gets it to Nichols. Nichols waits, goes up off the glass for two. Orion Aiden Fisher, 10-4. Brett Breiting now into the ball game. He's in there along with Dane Bates for Colfax. Bates goes up, puts it in. Breiting's a 6'3" junior. So the Panthers have some height in there. Hovde and Nichols get it across the timeline. Fires it over to Fisher. Down in the corner to Charbonneau. Inside now, top of the key is Russell Polkowski for three, and it's 12-7 Durand-Arkansaw. One-handed flip pass to Bates. Bates will dribble it once, fire it over to Breitung, and he'll nail the three-pointer. 12 minutes to go in the first half, and it's Durand-Arkansaw 15-7 lead over Colfax. Vikings get it across. That's Hovde, and we're going to have a blocking foul, the first of the game. That is going to be charged to Isaac Sabelko. That is the first foul of the game.
Logan Schwartz comes in for Charbonneau. Little height inside for Colfax.
There we go, even things up a little bit. Nichols, Polkowski, Charbonneau up, no, and getting it back out. And a struggle for the ball with Logan Schwartz. And that will go to Colfax on the alternate possession. Ryan Nichols is going to throw it in. Nichols to Hovde, firing it back to Nichols. And Nichols will bounce it off of Dane Bates out of bounds. 11:31 to go, first half. Durand-Arkansaw 15, Colfax 7. Out on top, Hovde. To Fisher. Then down inside, Schwartz, reverse layup for two. 15-9. Panthers with the lead. It's Parker Olmstead. Out to Breitung, to Bates. Down on the left baseline to Sabelko. Ball knocked down, picked up by Schwartz. And Hovde quickly across the timeline to Fisher. Fisher up from 12, just rolls out, rebounded by Billy Weisenbeck for Durand-Arkansaw. Halfway down, it goes to Weisenbeck. Weisenbeck pulls up from there, rolls off. Nice rebound by Aiden Fisher. Hovde across the 10-second line to Polkowski. Polkowski goes up, and that shot blocked by Dane Bates. Back out to Breitung. Breitung out in the corner to Sabelko. Sabelko into Weisenbeck. Weisenbeck with trouble. Ball knocked away. Taken back by the Vikings, and it's Hovde. Bring it across the timeline. Over to Nichols. Inside to Fisher. Back out to Nichols. Three-point attempt. A little bit short. Goes out to Parker Olmstead. Up the floor to Brett Breitung. Breitung waits and puts it in. Inside 10 minutes left. First half. Durand-Arkansaw 17. Colfax 9. Hovde down the far sideline. Brings it in between the wheels and gives it to Fisher. Fisher for three. Bounces out. Hovde there. He's going to go on the baseline. Bounce it into Polkowski. Polkowski's going to go up. And we're going to have a foul. And I think that's going to be called on Dane Bates. No. Dylan Berger? No. 2-0. Well, there isn't. He's not out there. 25. Okay, Dane Bates. It's Bates, yeah. Nichols in the corner to Hovde. Back to Nichols, out to a wide open Fisher. Bounces off, no good. Rebounded Brett Breitung. Breitung quickly up the floor. Looks at one, he'll get it back. And from the right baseline on the assist from Connor Wittig. 19-9 Panther lead. Approaching 9 minutes remaining. Hovde. One-handed pass to Polkowski, back to Hovde, over to Fisher. Fisher for three, or trying to set Polkowski up, but the reload good for Logan Schwartz. 19-11. Pass goes to Connor Wittig. Wittig to Weisenbeck. Weisenbeck fires over to Wittig, back to Weber. Weber driving in, Hovde guarding him, now making a move, going up. Connor Wittig missed, rebounded by Orion Nichols. Quickly up the floor to Fisher. Fisher layup, good. Colfax pulls to within 6. It's 19-13 Durand-Arkansaw. Ball goes to Billy Weisenbeck. Weisenbeck fires out to Breitung. Breitung for three, rolls off, rebounded by Schwartz. 8 minutes to go. First half in a game quickly moving along here. Fisher gets it in to Orion Nichols. Nichols will dribble it once, go up, and trying to use the backboard, doesn't go. It's rebounded by Billy Weisenbeck. Luke Weber back to Weisenbeck. He'll look outside the arch quick, and we're going to have a foul on the arm. That is by Orion Nichols of the Vikings. That's Colfax's first foul of the second half. Durand has 2 fouls. Weisenbeck's going to throw it in. Trey Larson checks in for the Vikings. Weisenbeck inside to Breitung. Breitung up for three, missed. Rebound, Weisenbeck. He's going to drive in and go up, and ball is ended up being passed to Russ Polkowski. Down to Fisher. Fisher up, hits the rim, no good. Rebounded by Max Anderson of Durand. Out to Luke Weber. Dribbling it right along the half-court line. Weber on the left side goes up off the glass, good. 21-13, Durand-Arkansaw leading Colfax. Full court pressure. Nichols maintains control. Inside 7 minutes left. Theo Hovde down to the corner, goes to Trey Larson. Larson trying to get it to Schwartz, but goes beyond him. Gets to Fisher. Fisher's going to set it up again. Fisher into Schwartz. Schwartz off the glass, good. 6 points for Logan Schwartz. 21-15. Top of the key for Durand, missed. Rebound, Aiden Fisher. Hovde up the floor. Flip pass to Larson. Larson, top of the key, feeds Polkowski. Polkowski up, misses the 10-footer. Rebounded by Weisenbeck for the Panthers. He'll toss it up the floor to Weber. Weber drives the left side of the lane, and he travels.
Yeah, good job by Trey Larson to block off that paint, and he had nowhere to go.
Approaching 6 minutes remaining in the first half. Colfax trails by 6. It's 21-15. Durand-Arkansaw. Jay Fall, Dan Petschau, Chris Olson with you from Durand. Flip pass goes to Larson, and the pass stolen away by Luke Weber. Weber across the jump circle at Polkowski right on him. He gets rid of it to Anderson. Anderson for 3. That one airballs. Wittig comes up with a rebound. Durand keeps it. They're going to try to go into it again. Parker Olmstead having some trouble. Gives it to Connor Wittig. Outside the arch to Max Anderson, and the Panthers will set it up. Weber between the circles. Pass to Max Anderson. Anderson's going to go in, goes up. Nice block by Russ Polkowski. P.O. Hubby out to Fisher. Polkowski, 3, good! Swishes it. Colfax pulls to within 3, 21-18, 5:15 left first half. Luke Weber holding it high, finds Olmstead halfway down to Wittig. He'll look at a three-pointer, goes to Bates, then Weber. Back to Bates, near side now to Olmstead. Olmstead, Anderson. Anderson moves it to the top of the key. Colfax still playing man-to-man, out to Parker Olmstead. Olmstead up from the free throw line, missed, getting the rebound, Bates. Bates goes back up, and he's fouled on the way up. So he's going to get some free throws out of that deal. That's going to be called on Russell Polkowski. That's his first, Colfax's second team foul, and that will put Dane Bates on the free throw line. Join us Monday here on NLWN2. We'll bring you boys basketball here for the Vikings. First one missed. Vikings will travel to Cochrane Fountain City for a non-conference contest. Coverage begins on NLWN2 with Viking pregame about 6:40, followed by live play-by-play. Dane Bates, the senior, second one goes in, and it's a 4-point Colfax lead. And Colfax takes a timeout. 4:37 remaining first half. It's Colfax 18, Durand-Arkansaw 22. You're watching Viking Boys Basketball on NLWN2.
When you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it, rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Mom's is open daily, serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub.
Welcome back to Durand. It's Durand-Arkansaw 22, Colfax 18. Counting up the players, and we're ready to go here. Vikings will have it on underneath the Panthers basket. And it goes to Aiden Fisher. Back over to Hubdy, in the middle to Nichols. Nichols, right side, goes up to Schwartz, waits, and Schwartz is fouled.
Yeah, that's 2 quick ones on Dane Bates.
And on that one, I watched him kind of spread his palms out like, huh? Oh, that one rolled around. That covered probably the whole inside of that rim and then popped out. Second one for Logan Schwartz up, and that one is good. So we're back to a 3-point game, 22-19, Panthers. 4:29 remains. Olmstead, nice and easy out of the backcourt, fires it to Wittig. Anderson at the free throw line. One-handed pass back to Olmstead, three-pointer. Comes off the back iron, tipped around, rebounded by Polkowski. To Hovde across the center jump circle, fires it over to Fisher. Fisher drives in, tries to go up, and he is fouled on the way in. That one is going against Max Anderson of the Panthers, and that will send Aiden Fisher to the line for 2. Join us Tuesday on NLWN TV as we bring you Colfax Viking girls basketball. The Vikings will play host to the Spring Valley Cardinals in a Dunn-St Croix Conference matchup. First free throw does not go. Coverage begins on NLWN TV with Viking pregame at 6:40, followed by live play-by-play. Second one for Fisher is good. Panthers with the ball back. Breidung to Bates. Back out to Olmstead. Out to Bates. They leave him open for a 3-ball. Rolls out. Rebounded by Anderson. Back out on top. Now Olmstead will try the 3-ball. That one bounces off big. Hovde trying to go for it. Ball goes out of bounds, and Hovde unfortunately was the last one to touch it. So the Panthers will keep it. Brett Breidung will throw it in. Russ Polkowski will guard him inside 3.5 or approaching 3.5 minutes. Fired inside to Brett Breidung and traveling. Ball turned over to the Vikings, who trail only by 2. It's 22-20 Durand-Arkansaw. Full court pressure up against the Vikings. And it's Hovde. Across the timeline goes to Nichols. Hovde just teetering on that half-court line. Driving in now, has it deflected. It goes out to Fisher from the corner. Fisher goes up, shot blocked. Schwartz gets it, he puts it up and in and is fouled. So the ball game now tied by Logan Schwartz, and the foul is going to be charged to the... That is going to be charged to, let's see. Didn't put it up on the scoreboard.
I think it's 43.
33?
4-3. Yeah, it would be 33.
Brett Breidung. Okay. All right. While we're getting all that figured out, the Vikings have taken the lead. It's a 25-22 ball game. Into Aiden Fisher. Fisher to Hovde. Hovde fires it into Nichols. Nichols goes in, is going to go up. Missed, rebounded by Max Anderson. Quickly down the floor to Breidung, and he can't get in position, but saves it, gets it into Olmstead. Three-pointer drained by Luke Weber. We're tied again, 25 all. Aiden Fisher looking to go in or up for a shot is fouled. That one is going to be charged to 24, Max Anderson. That's his second. Throwing it in, Nichols into Polkowski, and he put it in. That foul going to be called on Brett Breidung. That is his first, and the Vikings go back into the lead. Polkowski on the line to finish off the three-point play, and he does. Colfax 28, Durand-Arkansaw 25, as we approach 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Weber up from the free throw line, short. That foul is going to be charged to Aiden Fisher. That's Aiden's first foul. That's Colfax's third foul of the first half here. And that puts Luke Weber on the free throw line for 2. He makes the first. The next Durand-Arkansaw foul puts Colfax in the bonus. Second free throw, good as well. And we had a lane violation on the Panthers. So Colfax will get the ball back in the corner where it looks like the floor is wet. .205 left, first half. Vikings lead by 2. Inbounds throw goes to Hovde. Hovde flips it to Nichols. Nichols loses it, and it is going to be taken by the Panthers, and making the basket, Luke Weber. Nichols charged with a foul, so the three-point play here will try to put the Vikings, or the Panthers, up by 1. And that will be Luke Weber. And he does. Vikings trail by 1 now. Durand-Arkansaw 29. It's 28 for Colfax. Out of the backcourt with a Charlie Charbonneau. Gets it to Aiden Fisher. To Polkowski. Polkowski up from the free throw line. Bounces out. Schwartz trying to get the rebound. And can't save it. It goes off Colfax, or a Durand-Arkansaw staff member fan down there. Minute and a half left. First half. Panthers up by 1. Parker Olmstead three-pointer just nicks the rim. Pass gets back out on top to Wittig out on the left side. Breidung three-pointer missed, rebounded by Parker Olmstead. Olmstead across the court to Breidung. He loses the ball, and coming up with it, Logan Schwartz. Hovde, give and go to Fisher. And going up Schwartz, and that blocked by Billy Weisenbeck. Up the floor it goes to Parker Olmstead. Out to Luke Weber, knocked away by Hovde. Hovde going himself, going to put the layup in on the right side. Colfax leads by 1. 30-29. Half a minute to go here in the first half. Driving in, Luke Weber. Trips but gets the ball to a teammate out to Wittig. Down on the near side to Olmstead. Across the way to Weber. Panthers holding it for that last shot to take the lead back. 8 seconds left. And it goes back to Billy Weisenbeck. Three-pointer missed. Rebounded by Polkowski. And it is no good. But at the end of the first half, it's the Colfax Vikings 30, the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers 29. We invite you to stay tuned now for Viking halftime. Orion Nichols is going to be the featured profile player. You're watching Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on NLWN 2.
To get your lawn or garden to perform at attracting what you want, you first need to know what your soil is working with. That's where Midwest Environmental Consultants can help. Their soil testing service can give you a complete rundown on your soil's nutrition and health. They test for nitrogen levels, phosphorus, potash, micronutrients, minerals, pH, and organic matter. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants put you in control of your soil's health. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. That's Midwest Environmental Consultants, serving Western Wisconsin.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Time now for Viking Halftime, with today's Viking profile and other halftime entertainment. That's coming up right after this.
Time now for Viking Profile, where we take a closer look at one of the Colfax Viking players. And now, Viking Profile.
Today on Viking Profile, we're going to get to know Orion Nichols, who is a junior here at Colfax High School. And Orion, we know you play basketball, but what are some other things that you've been involved with here at school?
Football, golf, and baseball.
Okay, now, and fitting golf and baseball in, they're both spring sports. Do you have any trouble getting both of those in?
Last year was a bit of a difficulty with the weather. I had to miss some golf meets.
Okay. So when did you start playing basketball, and what kind of an experience has that been for you?
I started in 8th grade, and it's been a good experience.
Okay, now, what's the most important thing that you've learned playing basketball?
Teamwork.
All right. When not playing basketball or you're not here at school, what are some other things that keep you interested or occupied?
I like to fish and hang out with my friends.
Okay, and you just want to make sure your sister doesn't school you on the floor, right?
That'll never happen.
Okay. I don't know. I've seen her play. She's pretty tough. All right, pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Ice cream.
And which kind?
Mint chocolate chip.
All right. Burger, brat, or hot dog?
Hot dog.
And what do you want on that dog?
Ketchup and mustard.
Okay, basic hot dog with just the basic flavors. All right, nothing wrong with the classics. Your favorite color and why?
Probably red. No reason.
You just like red?
Yeah.
That's as good a reason as any. If you could have a superpower, what do you think that might be and why?
Probably super speed.
And, of course, if you have the ability for super speed, you have to have a superhero name to go with that. So what's Orion Nichols' superhero name?
The Big O.
The Big O. All right. Favorite NBA team?
The Bucks.
And favorite collegiate team?
Wisconsin.
All right. Now, if you could pick the brain of a sports personality from any time in history, who would it be and why?
Probably Justin Herbert.
That would be an interesting one. That would be interesting. All right. We're talking with Orion Nichols today on Viking Profile. And Orion, what are your plans for after high school?
Hopefully go to college.
Do you have any idea where or what for?
Not yet.
Okay, you still got some time to figure that out. How about a shout out to the family?
Shout out Mom, Dad, Andy Fisher.
Okay. All right. When people come to Viking games, where are they going to find you on the floor?
At the 3.
And for those people that don't go by the numbers and go by the old-fashioned positions of guards, forwards, and so on, explain the 3.
Small forward.
Small forward, okay. Or sometimes called the swing forward. Okay. We want to thank Orion Nichols for joining us today on Viking Profile. Coming up next is more Viking Halftime.
You've been listening to Viking Profile. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh. No, you can't. kids start vaping. And I can't let this happen to my kid. So if you want to talk to your kids, you have to get it trending.
No, you're doing it wrong. Let's go.
Can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
You've been tuned to Viking Halftime. Stay tuned. Coming up is second half action of today's Viking game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV.
Elmer loves to giggle. Elmer's mommy taught him that laughing can help when you have a big feeling, like when you feel happy. Make sure to celebrate when you're happy and laugh it out. Love your mind.
Welcome back. Welcome back to Durand-Arkansaw High School. Colfax 30, Durand-Arkansaw 29. Dan, let's take a look at the numbers.
His scores right now for Durand. Parker Olmstead has 2. Luke Weber has 10. Connor Whitting has 6. Dave Bates has 4. Brightong has 7. For the Vikings, Theo Hovde has 2. Aiden Fisher has 5. We got Russell Pukowski with 11. And Logan Schwartz has 12. 30-29 Colfax.
Some activities going on tomorrow. Bloomer Colfax wrestling team travels to Shell Lake. Action begins at 9:30. Gymnasts head to Rice Lake tomorrow, and they start at 11. And the Dunn-St Croix Conference champion Viking dance team will compete in regionals tomorrow. Durand Panthers will start with the ball. And a 1-point lead, 30-29 as we open the second half. Anderson out to Weber. Weber's three-pointer missed. Big rebound. Wittig gets it back to Bates. Bates puts it up. He can't get to it. Pukowski comes up with the rebound. Pukowski to Hovde and Colfax. Across with no pressure. Hovde at the center jump circle. Half a minute gone. And Hovde trying to go inside, loses the ball, and it goes back to Connor Weber, and he'll put in, or Wittig, and he'll put in the bucket, and it is now a 1-point lead for the Durand Panthers. Hovde out to Nichols, and up and in, Aiden Fisher underneath. Colfax takes the lead back, 32-31.
7 points for Fisher.
Dane Bates hands the ball off to Weber. Back out on top, it goes to Parker Olmstead. He'll put it up from the free throw line and put it in. Durand-Arkansaw leads by 1. Nichols to Charbonneau. And he puts a layup up on the left side. Colfax now leads by 1.
Yeah, good job of Charbonneau to get around Bates.
And Weber from the free throw line. He puts it up and in. We're going to go back and forth for a while here. Durand-Arkansaw 35, Colfax 34. Charbonneau from the corner of the lane gets it back to Nichols. Nichols tries to get it back to Fisher. The pass is knocked down. Driving in, Luke Weber. And Weber fouled by Aiden Fisher. That's the first foul of the second half. That's the second foul on Aiden Fisher. So Luke Weber's going to go to the line for 2 free throws. First one, good. Jay Fall, Dan Petchaw, Chris Olson with you from Durand. Inside 16 minutes remaining in the second half. And Durand-Arkansaw now stretches their lead to 3 after those 2 free throws. Back to Orion Nichols. Nichols to Charbonneau. Charbonneau bounced it on the sideline. Going back to the Panthers. The Viking girls game that was postponed on Monday at Prescott will be made up on Saturday, February 22nd. That can be seen live on NLWN TV. Panthers with the ball. Connor Wittig to Bates. Up to Weber. Weber doubled up on. Pass goes quickly out to Olmstead back out on top. Olmstead up from the corner of the lane, rolls out no good. Rebound by Aiden Fisher. Vikings up the floor with it. Bounces it into Russ Polkowski, out to Fisher, out on top to Hovde. Back to Polkowski. Fisher driving in, fires it out to an open Orion Nichols. 3-ball, bangs around and out. Panthers, Luke Weber. Weber for 3. That one doesn't go. It's rebounded by the Panthers' Parker Olmstead. Olmstead going up with lots of people around him, and foul's going to be charged to Charlie Charbonneau. That's his first. That is the second foul for the Vikings already, so 2 free throws for Parker Olmstead. First one, good. The Viking boys game that was postponed on Tuesday against Mondovi will be made up as the first half of a boys then girls doubleheader on Tuesday, February 11th, with the boys against Mondovi tipping off at 5:45, followed by the girls game against Glenwood City. Both games carried on both NLWN TV and NLWN2. Coverage begins about 5:15. So with the 2 successful free throws, Durand-Arkansaw has increased their lead to 5. It's 39-34. We're at 14:43 left in the second half. Aiden Fisher out to Theo Hovde. Hovde dribbles around, gets down to the baseline. Out to Fisher. Back to Hovde, and he'll come out. Brings it back to the center. Into Fisher, to Nichols, into Polkowski. Hovde back to Polkowski, top of the key, 3-ball, bounces around, no, rebounded by Dane Bates. Parker Olmstead, left side, fires it down to Wittig. Wittig to Bates, back high in the right wing to Weber. Far side, Wittig. Driving in, Anderson. He'll flip it back to Olmstead. Olmstead in the corner to Wittig. Back out on top to Weber. Durand going to make Colfax come after him. Anderson to Wittig. To Olmstead. Olmstead, corner of the lane. Foul's going to be called on Theo Hovde of the Vikings. That's Theo's first foul. That's going to send Parker Olmstead to the line for 2.
Yeah, Durand trying to keep the ball in number 3 Parker Olmstead's hands right now.
First free throw missed. Monday night, Colfax boys on the road at Cochrane Fountain City. Non-conference game. Coverage on NLWN2 begins with Viking pregame at 6:40, followed by live play-by-play. Second one is good. It's Durand-Arkansaw 40, Colfax 34. Charlie Charbonneau back out to Hovde.
Durand goes zone again.
Hovde to Charbonneau into Polkowski. He loses it, goes to Max Anderson. To Olmstead. Olmstead layup over the center, miss. Polkowski there to get it back. Hovde, alley-oop pass to Fisher. And they're going to keep it with Colfax. So Ryan Nichols is going to throw it in from the corner.
Yeah, Colfax having a little hard time with Dane Bates.
Timeout called on the floor. 12:55 left, second half. Durand-Arkansaw 40, Colfax 34. You're watching Viking Boys Basketball on NLWN 2.
C&K Construction is your source for high-quality concrete and construction work in the Chippewa Valley. Established in 2014, C&K Construction in Chippewa Falls is a leading concrete contractor proud to serve Eau Claire, Altoona, Menominee, and surrounding areas. Specializing in concrete construction, excavating, flatwork poured walls, and much more, they're right for all of your concrete needs. Call C&K Construction in Chippewa Falls at 715-559-1335.
Menominee Eye and Optical can help you see the world for the beautiful place it is. Doctors Nicholas and Marianne Comro provide comprehensive and emergency eye care for all, including pediatric and special needs patients. Whether it's examination for glasses to cataract or LASIK care, or diagnosis and management of macular degeneration, and so much more. In addition, Menominee Eye and Optical's experienced opticians will help guide you to the highest quality eyewear for the best value. That's Menominee Eye and Optical, 520 Wilson Avenue in Menominee, where they specialize in quality personalized care for you and your family.
Join us on Tuesday on NLWN TV as we bring you Colfax Viking girls basketball. The Vikings will play host to Spring Valley Cardinals in a Dunn-St. Croix Conference matchup. Coverage begins on NLWN TV with Viking pregame at 6:40, followed by live play-by-play. Vikings with the ball off the timeout. Pass goes in the corner to Aiden Fisher. Three-pointer rolls off right into the hands of Brett Brightung. Quickly up the floor to a wide-open Dane Bates, who traveled. And Dane, of course, puzzled why that was called.
Yeah, you know, his stride is so long that I think it wasn't a travel, but it was just the stretch that made it look like it.
Nichols on the baseline, fires it back to Fisher. Fisher going up in the lane, going up and in. He draws a foul and makes the basket.
Yeah, big foul right there. It's going to be on Dane Bates.
Yep. That's his third. Wow.
Good job by Colfax to attack the interior.
Aiden Fisher, one shot to try to make this a three-point ball game. He does. 40-37, Durand-Arkansaw leading Colfax. Driving in, Weber goes up with a shot, blocked. Bates will take it from the free throw line. That one missed, and it's rebounded by Russ Polkowski. Approaching 12 minutes remaining second half, it's Theo Hovde. Back and forth with Aiden Fisher. He'll bounce it in to Russ Polkowski. He will go up, and that one missed. Bates with the rebound. Weber. And we're going to have a foul inside. And that one is going to be on Theo Hovde, his second. That will put Parker Olmstead on the line. It's quite a matchup that's been tonight with the senior Bates against the freshman Polkowski.
Olmstead is 4 for 5 from the charity stripe.
Ooh. And has now pushed his team ahead by 5. Durand-Arkansaw 42, Durand 37. 11:45 left second half. Jay Fall, Dan Petchow, Chris Olson with you. Aiden Fisher to Theo Hovde. Back to Fisher down in the corner. Nichols looks, will give it back to Fisher. Fisher will go up. And he got a push from Connor Wittig.
Oh, it's not going to be a shooting foul.
Nope.
They're going to have to talk about it. Oh, they're not going to talk about it.
Nope.
Wow. He was in the air. Interesting call.
Hovde Down to Fisher. Down inside to Schwartz. Schwartz goes up. That one doesn't go into the hands of Billy Weisenbeck. Weisenbeck to Olmstead. Flips it back out to Brydon from the corner. 3 for Luke Weber. 45-37. Durand-Arkansaw, 11 minutes to go. Second half. Hovde near the half-court line. Getting harassed by Wittig. He'll bounce it down to Fisher. Out to Polkowski. Stops, makes a pass to Hovde. Hovde scoops it out to Nichols. Nichols for 3. That one rolls out. No good. Tipped to Connor Wittig. Up the floor. It goes back to Brett Brydon. Now he'll get it back underneath. No, going up and putting it in. Billy Weisenbeck. And it is now a 10-point Colfax lead, or Durand-Arkansaw lead. Hovde across the timeline to Fisher. Out to Polkowski, top of the key. 3-pointer is good. Approaching the 10-minute mark, Colfax trailing by 7. Weber to Brydon. Brydon gets it back. He'll take a 3-ball. It goes off the front iron and into Russ Polkowski's hands. Theo Hovde give and go to Aiden Fisher. Back to Russell Polkowski. He is going to go up off the glass. That one doesn't go. Rebounded by Weisenbeck. Quickly down the floor to Weber. Weber loops around, gives it back to Brydon. Brydon waits, tries to get it inside. Ball gets loose, and Logan Schwartz comes up with it. Colfax 40, Durand-Arkansaw 47. Hovde to Polkowski, back to Hovde to Fisher. Fisher's going to look at a 3 over to Hovde to Nichols. Nichols outside the arch. He's going to drive in, go up and in. The bucket's good. 5-point Colfax deficit, 47-42. Durand-Arkansaw inside 9 minutes. Brydon out to Weber. Back up on top to Olmstead. Back to Weisenbeck. He'll try to go up over Schwartz. Schwartz gets a hand on it, and Polkowski gets the rebound. Nice block. Down the floor it goes to Nichols. Nichols inside, and they wait. Schwartz goes up. That one doesn't go. They try to tip it back up there, and the rebound recovered by Wittig for Durand. Into Olmstead. Olmstead, jump ball or jump shot. 5-footer's good, and it is back to a 7-point Panther lead.
Parker Olmstead has 11 points.
Hovde to Nichols. Nichols back inside to Schwartz. He'll wait, and he is fouled by Brett Brydon. So Logan Schwartz is going to get a pair of free throws. Tuesday night, the Viking girls host Spring Valley Cardinals. Coverage begins on NLWN TV with Viking pregame at 6:40. Followed by live play-by-play. Colfax girls in Spring Valley Monday, or Tuesday, on NLWN TV. Schwartz made the first, and he makes the second. 8 minutes left, second half. Colfax trails by 5. It's 49-44. Pass goes to Bates. Bates back in the corner to Weber. Weber's going to drive in, up to Bates. Bates' shot falls short. Rebounded by Schwartz, back to Hovde. Hovde passes to Nichols. Nichols, Fisher, out to Charbonneau. Drive it in. Hovde's going to go up against the big guys. That shot falls short. Gets his own rebound. Drive it in, or Nichols goes up. That shot blocked. It's tipped back to Fisher. Out to Hovde. Colfax, with all of that action, keeps it. Ball banging around there. Colfax holding on. Hovde bounces it inside to Schwartz, and Colfax keeps it. Inside 7 minutes left. Colfax trails by 5, 49-44 to Durand-Arkansaw. And Nichols to throw it in, gets it out on top to Fisher. Fisher from the free throw line, good! Colfax within 3, 49-46.
Aiden Fisher with 12 points.
Parker Olmstead. Then in the corner it goes to Isaac Sabelko now in the ball game. He's a 5'5 junior. Out to Luke Weber. Weber fires it into Brett Breitung. Breitung going in, and he is fouled by Logan Schwartz. That is Logan's first foul. 6:31 remaining. Second half, it's Durand-Arkansaw 49, Colfax 46. And make that 50 on the first free throw by Brett Breitung. Monday night, Colfax boys at Cochrane Fountain City. Girls Tuesday host Spring Valley. Both games, or both coverages, start at 6:40 with Viking pregame, and boys on NLWN 2, girls on NLWN TV.
Durand's 11 for 12 from the line tonight.
Oh, that's been a big factor in their 5-point lead. Nichols inside to Charbonneau. Back out to Fisher. Hovde, free throw line right. Out to Charbonneau. Ball stolen away. Luke Weber going down and makes the layup untouched. 6 minutes left, second half. Vikings down by 7, 53-46. To the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers. Charbonneau, Fisher, three-point shot, Charbonneau missed, rebounded Brett Breitung. Breitung give and go to Olmstead. The fire off left to Luke Weber. Back on top to Dane Bates. And it's fired into Parker Olmstead, and he does the left side baseline layup. And Colfax wants a timeout. 5:20 remaining second half. It's a full timeout. Durand-Arkansaw 55, Colfax 46. You're watching Viking Boys Basketball on NLWN 2.
January is Financial Wellness Month. Weight loss and physical fitness are common New Year's resolutions, but your finances could probably stand to be leaner as well. Dairy State Bank will post tips all month on Facebook and Twitter to help you get your finances in shape. You can also access a library of information anytime in our online education center. Visit DairyStateBank.com and click on the Education Center under the Resources tab. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
If your estate isn't looking quite estate-like, let Midwest Environmental Consultants landscape your estate right up to snuff with installation of retaining walls, brick patios, foundation planting beds, and so much more. Then they'll keep it that way with their expert lawn care service. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants help make your estate the showplace of the neighborhood.
Welcome back to Durand High School. Durand-Arkansaw 55, Colfax 46, 5:20 remaining in the second half. Colfax had the narrowest of leads at halftime, 30-29. Fighting to get that lead back. Kokowski top of the key out to Nichols. Nichols to Fisher. Down inside to Schwartz. Back out on top to Nichols, stolen away by Luke Weber. Another layup on the right side. It is now an 11-point Panther lead. Hubney between the jump circle and the key, out to Nichols. Back to Polkowski. Nichols inside to Schwartz. Schwartz back to Fisher. Three-pointer around the rim and out. Schwartz trying to keep it, and it ends up in the hands of Durand. Max Anderson comes up with a loose ball. Now Theo Hubney picks that one off for Colfax. Out to Russ Polkowski. Three, rolls around and out. Shots just not falling. Weber driving up, and no, two attempts go for naught, and a three-point attempt by Weber from the sidelines is good.
Yeah, that's video game stuff. They're banking it from way beyond the three-point line.
That's 25 points for him. Three-pointer, Fisher, no, back of the iron, and it's rebounded by Parker Olmsted. 60-46, Panthers. Parker Olmsted down to Luke Weber. Weber tripled up on, and he'll just make a pass out to Bates. Bates doesn't put it in, and it goes off the Vikings to the Panthers. 3.5 minutes left to go in the ball game, and Colfax trails by 14. Up on top, Olmsted. One-handed pass to Breidung, back to Bates, and the pass blocked. Olmsted manages to get it back, fires it over to Weber this time. Three-point shot missed. Hubney there to get on it. Hubney up the floor to Fisher. Fisher driving on the baseline, fires it back out to Hubney, to Fisher. Fisher's going up, shot blocked, but nope, they're going to say that he was fouled on the play. That is going to be a foul on Brett Breidung, and that is his third. That's going to send Hayden Fisher to the line for two with exactly 3 minutes to go in the ball game. First free throw good. Durand-Arkansaw lead cut to 13 now. And Fisher's second free throw doesn't go in. It's rebounded by Parker Olmsted. Olmsted driving in, then coming out to Max Anderson. Anderson flips it to Dane Bates, and he'll fire it into Luke Weber. Weber goes in for a layup, and he is fouled on the way in by Logan Schwartz. That is his second foul. That puts Luke Weber on the free throw line for Durand-Arkansaw for a pair. The Bloomer Colfax wrestling team travels to Shell Lake tomorrow. Action begins at 9:30. First free throw good. The Colfax gymnasts head to Rice Lake tomorrow. Action beginning at 11. And the Dunn-St. Croix Conference champion Viking dance team will compete in regionals tomorrow. Second free throw doesn't go, and the rebound is fielded by Russ Polkowski. He gets it to Hayden Fisher. Fisher out to Hubney from the free throw line. Nichols' shot missed, rebounded by Dane Bates of the Panthers. 2:22 left in the ball game, and Parker Olmsted loses the ball. .220 to go, second half. Colfax 47, Durand-Arkansaw 61. You're watching Viking Boys Basketball on NLWN 2.
Even though it's winter, baseball is just around the corner. And the Northern Light Webcasting Network is excited to bring you Colfax High School Baseball, followed by Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball. So stick with us all spring and summer long for America's game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Anderson Bridges, located in Colfax, Wisconsin, has been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. With hundreds of bridges supplied nationwide, we suspect you've crossed our path. It may have been on a pedestrian or bicycle bridge, or how about a snowmobile, ATV, or golf course bridge? Anderson Bridges is likely to have manufactured it. Founded in 1989, Anderson Bridges has been a family-owned company since its beginning and are proud to support the Colfax Vikings.
After a rousing rendition of Sweet Caroline, we are back in action. Billy Weisenbeck going to throw it in for Durand. Weisenbeck into Olmsted. Ball gets loose. Scrapping for it. Logan Schwartz comes up with it. Up the floor it goes to Fisher. Fisher taps it back in. Can't get it to Schwartz. Coming up with it is Olmsted. Olmsted makes a move. And we're going to have 2 free throws for Olmsted. Then the foul's going to be charged to Theo Hubney. That is his 3rd foul. That is, going to be a 1+1 for Durand. Parker Olmsted, first shot, good. And the second one doesn't go. Parker Olmsted has 14 points, and we're coming up on 2 minutes left in the game. Hubney. Pass to Polkowski. Zigged when he should have zagged, maybe. This has been a very fast-paced game, so they could be running low on gas. Billy Weisenbeck out to Luke Weber. Weber is fouled on the play. That's going to be charged to Aiden Fisher. That is Aiden's 3rd foul. 1:49 left, and we go to the free throw line for Durand-Arkansaw, 1+1. Ryan Nichols is going to check in for Charlie Charbonneau. Boys back in action Monday night at Cochran Fountain City. Girls hosting Spring Valley Tuesday. Free throw good. Boys action Monday on NLWN 2, girls on NLWN TV. Both starting with Viking pregame at 6:40, followed by play-by-play. Both free throws are good. That is 28 points for Luke Weber. Aiden Fisher to Theo Hubney. 1:45 left. Fisher to Hubney. Over on the right wing. Back in the middle to Hubney. Hubney into Nichols. Ball tapped away into the hands of Weber. Weber into Olmsted, and it hangs up there and goes in. Parker Olmsted, 16 points, and now that ball underneath goes to Dane Bates, and it's going back to the Parker Olmsted, and we've got a host of Vikings ready to check in. Into Aiden Fisher. Fisher going up, and that shot missed, rebounded by Dane Bates. Luke Weber heading down there, and we're going to have a foul on Theo Hubney. That's Theo's 4th foul. On the free throw line to shoot 2, Luke Weber. First shot missed, and now we'll have, looks like we have 5 Vikings and 4 Panthers checking in.
Yeah, we got Hunter Roberts. We have Isaiah Ensminger. We have number 40, Levi Elwood. We have number 21. Oh, I got Hunter already. 34, Nate Edwards.
Free throw is good, and we stop the clock for the final Durand substitution, and now we have 5 fresh players on each. And Ensminger passes to Trey Larson. Larson to Elwood, or down to Elwood underneath. Elwood up and in! Levi Elwood, a junior, scores a bucket. Half a minute left. Isaac Sabelko back in the ball game. Also in there is Alex Hagness. He throws it to Dylan Berger. Back down in the corner to Hagness. Into Miles Krolewski on the baseline. Shot goes up, missed. Pulled off the boards by Trey Larson. 15 seconds left. Ensminger to Larson to Roberts. 5 seconds. And Colfax will give it to number 40, Levi Elwood. His shot falls short, and the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers defeat the Colfax Vikings tonight by a score of 67-49. That makes Colfax's Dunn-St. Croix record 3 wins, 3 losses. They are 4-8 on the season. Durand Panthers, who are tied for first in the Dunn-St. Croix with Elk Mound, goes up to 5-1 in the league, and they are 9-4 on the season. We invite you to stay tuned for our post-game show. That's coming your way next. You're watching Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on NLWN2.
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping. And I can't let this happen to my kid. So if you want to talk to your kids, you have to get it trained.
You need some help?
Your toe chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
You have been tuned to Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2. This copyrighted production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and Colfax High School is intended for the enjoyment of the viewing and listening audience. Any broadcast, rebroadcast, or reproduction in part or in whole in any form without the express written consent of the Northern Light Webcasting Network, LLC, and Colfax High School is prohibited. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Viking Postgame with a look back at today's game.
In November of 2018, our daughter Jana passed away. The outpouring of support was unbelievable. Support that we received inspired us to start a foundation called the Jana Kelly Memorial Foundation. And through that foundation,
we've given back in a lot of different ways, through projects, through different other charities that we've supported. We like to help Humane Association, and the Ronald McDonald House is something that's very near and dear to us. We've also recently, this last year, we actually built a tiny house. It's really exciting to be able to give back in different ways.
To learn more or to help financially, would find us on Facebook or www.janakelly.com.
Time now for Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Boys game. And now, Viking Postgame.
Welcome back to Durand-Arkansaw High School, where the Colfax Viking boys have just fallen short to the Panthers, 67-49 at the end of the first half. It was 30-29 Vikings. But Durand-Arkansaw went on to outscore the Vikings 38-19 in the second half for their 67-49 win. The JV game, it was close. A defensive battle. Durand-Arkansaw edged Colfax 31-27. Dan, let's take a look at the scoring.
Yeah, here's the scores tonight for the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers. Their leader scorer was number 12, Luke Weber. He had 29 points. Parker Olmsted had 16. We had Billy Weisenbach with 2. Connor Wittig had 8. Brett Brydung had 8. And Dane Bates had 4. For the Vikings, they're led tonight by two players, Russell Polkowski and Logan Schwartz, both had 14 points. Aiden Fisher had 13. We had Hovde with 2. Nichols had 2. Charlie Charbonneau had 2. And Levi Elwood had 2. 67-49, Durand-Arkansaw gets the win.
So that moves the Vikings to 3-3 in the conference and 4-8 overall. They will go to Cochrane Fountain City on Monday night. And we'll talk about tonight's game here with the Vikings head coach, Nick Height. And Coach, the first half a battle, and you tried to battle all the way along, but it was kind of a difference of two halves.
Yeah, I don't think it was necessarily an 18-point game. I think if you watched it throughout the course, but they made a lot of free throws there in the second half. I didn't think our execution offensively was where it needed to be, and we talked about it again. Bad offense and bad shots. Our defense isn't set, and it leads into some transition points. So, again, I'm proud of our guys. We battled in that first half. We knew they were going to come out and be fiery in the second half. Tough place to play, fun environment, but we just have to learn from this because the next 2 weeks is going to be brutal. It's a gauntlet of a stretch here.
Yeah. Good matchup in there between the big guys, Russell Polkowski with Dane Bates and Max Anderson. I mean, he held his own.
I thought Logan played really well.
Yeah, he did too.
Especially in the first half. Came in and gave us a lot of good things. So, we just got to learn. We got to learn from this, but it's a quick turnaround to go into Fountain City on Monday, ranked 8th in D5. So,
well, I was going to ask what to expect, but I mean, that sort of says it all. What makes them the team that
they're super athletic, super lengthy. It'll be fun for me. I was actually in Cochrane Fountain City before I came to Colfax, so I actually, I know the head coach really well, so it's going to be fun to kind of go back, kind of a reason why they're on the schedule. But, hopefully we can come in, have a good practice, shoot around on Sunday, and be ready to go on Monday.
Okay. Nick, thanks for coming up and talking with us, and we'll see you on Monday. So that's Nick Height, the head coach of the Vikings, who came from where we're going Monday night, Cochrane Fountain City. So that should be an entertaining matchup. And sports is part of education, and a lot of learning took place tonight.
Yeah, Colfax fought hard. They did what they had to do, and they just didn't hit their shots in the second half. Just couldn't get it inside like they did in the first half. And the big two for Durand tonight was Dane Bates. He only had 4 points, but his presence, 6'8", and there's just nothing you can do when you get inside. And then, Parker Olmstead. He didn't make a lot of field goals, but he spent the night at the line, and that's a big part of it.
Yeah, you can rack up points big time that way, and he sure did. So Monday nights, boys back in action, non-conference at Cochrane Fountain City facing the Pirates. The girls will be hosting Spring Valley Tuesday night. Coverage for both of those begins with Viking pregame at 6:40, followed by live play-by-play. And then the Viking girls game postponed on Monday at Prescott, made up on Saturday, February 22nd. That can be seen live on NLWN TV. And the Viking boys game that was postponed last Tuesday against Mondovi will be made up as the first half of a boys then girls doubleheader on Tuesday, February 11th, with the boys against Mondovi tipping off at 5:45, followed by the girls game against Glenwood City. Both will be carried on both NLWN TV and NLWN2. Coverage beginning at about 5:15. Thank you for joining us tonight. For our cameraman Chris Olson and Dan Petshaw, I'm Jay Fall. Good night and have a great weekend.
You've been listening to Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Boys game. This has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.